Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Sunday, October 6th, around 7 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The long-awaited geomagnetic storm has begun, and this is thanks to the BZ shifting south now. We just went to KP5, and the aurora forecast is looking like there is potential for aurora as the sun sets. We're also keeping a close eye on Hurricane Milton as it makes its way towards the west coast of Florida. Keep calm. It's boom time. Wildfire smoke moves into Colorado, and we've got the latest smoke map for you. Just the northern portions of Colorado from some fires in northern Utah there. The densest plume right here in Idaho, central Idaho, where there are a number of wildfires currently burning. The death toll from Hurricane Helene rises to 227 today as the grim task of recovering bodies continues there. Hurricane Milton strengthens to Category 1 storm this morning, expected to hit Florida as a major hurricane this week. And it's expected to make landfall in Florida as a major Cat3 hurricane on Wednesday, just south of Tampa. Another run showing it just north of Tampa. Advisory number 6 is the latest update. Maximum sustained winds to 85 miles per hour. And Milton is forecast to be a major hurricane when it reaches the west coast of the Florida Peninsula midweek. Users are reminded to not focus on the details of the forecast as there remains significant uncertainty in the eventual track and intensity, but some early models showing storm surges of 10 feet or more near Tampa. So it is too soon to specify the exact magnitude and location of the greatest impacts, but there is an increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge and damaging winds for portions of the west coast of Florida Peninsula beginning early Wednesday, and storm surge and hurricane watches will likely be issued tonight into tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow night for a better picture of where Hurricane Milton is headed and what some of those impacts and storm surge watches will be. Here is the latest run of spaghetti models, and you can see most of the paths are concentrating here on the Sarasota area of landfall. That would be much better for the Tampa region because there would be offshore winds and Tampa Bay would actually drain in that scenario. But bad news for people south of Sarasota. So these models will shift, and the GFS, in fact, is moving it much south. Take a look at this. So this is far south of, it's getting a little glitchy here. Let me refresh this. All right, let's take a look at the latest GFS model run here. And you can see that the eye here is moving north of Tampa. That would be a devastating situation, moving and pushing that storm surge into Tampa Bay. That is the GFS model, and unfortunately, what's been showing up on the last few runs is another hurricane right behind it, threatening the southern tip of Florida as well as Cuba there. If we switch the models over to the European ensemble here, we can see a more direct hit directly at Tampa there. And let's see if there's another storm coming up behind it here. It's going to take a little bit to render there. Well, you get the picture. So both models showing a severe hurricane, potentially Cat 3, maybe Cat 4, according to some of the intensity models here, making landfall near Tampa Wednesday into Thursday. Hurricane Kirk, still a strong Cat 1, has an interesting cone of ascent here. It is going to be moving as a tropical storm all the way into Europe in the coming days. The same time, we're going to see Milton impact the west coast of Florida. Kirk will be impacting Europe. And here is the 18Z, the most recent model coming out there. We'll just move this through for you. So there's already a low pressure offshore here off of the UK, and in the next few days, that is going to bring rain to the same region that Hurricane Kirk, which will be Tropical Storm Kirk as it moves in here on Wednesday, attacks the region. Now, the precipitation map is showing extensive flooding potential with up to 5 inches of rain or 100 millimeters, let's say, throughout Spain, and heavy snow for the Alps, which is good news for the ski season starting early there. There will be also heavy snow impacts for Finland. Here's the full forecast. Hurricane Milton is strengthening in the Gulf of Mexico with dangerous heat in the southwest. Hurricane Milton strengthening in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Milton is expected to become a major hurricane and bring significant impacts to Florida this upcoming week, including heavy rain, flooding, life-threatening storm surge, and damaging winds. Meanwhile, a late-season heat wave will continue across portions of California into the desert southwest through Monday. Seismic update. We have a significant rumbler happening today, 5.1 in Iceland. This is at Bardabunga, and we'll get to those details in a moment. Some activity in the west coast of the U.S., uptick in Alaska, and slightly larger than normal activity worldwide, especially on the Ring of Fire. A large earthquake felt at Bardabunga today. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.1 took place in Bardabunga, and we've been seeing an uptick. I reported on it the other day about the magnitude 4 and a cacophony here, and now we have an uptick at Bardabunga. This is due to inflation and magma being put into the system, but according to geologists in this region, this volcano shouldn't erupt for a few decades, but we'll keep a close eye on the activity as there is definitely an uptick at Bardabunga. Quick look at space weather. The geomagnetic storm has actually occurred. We are at KP5 G1 geomagnetic storm, and the aurora forecast is lighting up. Thanks to the BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field has settled into a south-pointing position. G1 storming is currently in progress with a chance for G2 should this condition persist, which means sky watchers at higher latitudes should be on alert once dark outside. Good news for aurora watchers, as that is the current forecast. Let's see if we can refresh it. Yes, it's getting a little better. And here is the telemetry, and you can see the BZ pushing all the way south. It looks like it's going to stay there for a bit, so we may get to G2 geomagnetic storm. Exciting times. Now, most of you heard about the Indonesian meteorite that this guy found. It blasted through the roof of his house, and many people were claiming he was going to sell it for $1.8 million, when in fact he got much less than that. The only problem is now the man hoped he'd be a millionaire, but now he's just a few 10,000-aire. And he lives in fear because where he lives in Indonesia, there are lots of criminals that would like to get their hands on his money. So beware what you wish for. And take a look at this. You're looking at Mauna Kea, our local area in the universe, and that red dot is where the Milky Way is. Clearly showing a neural network at play here at the universal scale. The data visualization of the motions of galaxies in structures called basins of attraction couldn't be further from the truth. They're claiming this is due to gravity. Doesn't look very gravitational to me. So this is an interesting article. The Milky Way may be part of an even larger structure than Mauna Kea, which you're looking at here. The link will be below. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. If you're in Western Florida, your preparation should have begun already. If you are in a coastal area, evacuations should be in order. The faster you evacuate, the faster you'll get out of town. If you wait to the last minute, you could be stuck in traffic and, in fact, be stuck in the hurricane. We love each and every one of you. Be safe, and that's a boom.